Hi, my name is Speer. I'm the executive pastry chef of Uchi Restaurants. Today we're going to make a maple blondie using maple syrup as our alternative sweetener. So I'm going to heat the maple syrup on a medium-high heat until it reaches a slight simmer. Then I'm going to reduce the heat to a medium, and we're going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes to reduce by 1/4 cup. So as your maple syrup has reduced, you'll notice the bubbles get a little bit tighter. We can go ahead and turn off the heat and add your whole butter. I like to use unsalted butter for any baking recipe because I like to control the salt content myself. So as your butter finishes melting, we're going to take our eggs and put them into a large mixing bowl. We're going to add a little bit of vanilla to these eggs. Just have some vanilla extract. A good tip when baking, using room temperature eggs allows you to combine the ingredients with better consistency. So now we're going to temper the maple sugar butter mixture into our room temperature eggs. When tempering, you want to make sure you're using a slow stream into the egg because you don't want to cook separate parts of the eggs. You want this to be very consistent. Now that we've tempered the eggs, we're going to mix our dry ingredients, which we'll later add into the maple syrup and egg mixture. So we have a little bit of salt, some baking soda, and some baking powder for leavening. You want to mix your leaveners and salt in very well with the flour because you want this to be distributed evenly once it hits the liquid. Now we're going to take our flour mixture and incorporate it to the maple and egg mixture. You want to just pour a little bit at a time in so that you do not get clumps. So you want to scrape the edges and mix well until you just get a nice smooth consistency. So now we're going to take our mixture and just pour it into our greased baking pan. And so I'm going to finish smoothing this out with the spatula, but once it heats up, the heat will continue to flatten that out. So once we've transferred the mixture into the greased dish, we're going to put that into our preheated oven. We've preheated it at 325. When baking and cooking with alternative sweeteners, you need to be careful because they brown a little faster than regular refined sugar. After your blondies bake for about 25-30 minutes, we're going to pull them out of the oven. You want it to have a nice uniform consistency on the top. And we're going to finish this with just a little bit more maple syrup to add some delicious flavor. Thank you very much for joining us. Once again, I'm Speer from Uchi Restaurants for Co+op Stronger Together.